Good morning, everybody, and thanks again for joining. As Darren mentioned, my name is Madonna Melrose, and I'm the Director of Melrose International. And we're going to talk today about getting your grant ready. But more importantly, I like to talk about a grant mindset. So we might have to put everything to one side that you think you know about the government grant space, and hopefully we'll re-educate and get that mindset moving. So my mission today is quite simply, as I said, to help you develop a really strong, but more importantly, an educated approach to the grant landscape. Grants, it is a minefield. There's a lot of movement, a bit of a jigsaw puzzle. I get about 30 to 50 new grants across my desk every day. So there's a lot of movement, a lot of activity. So we do call it a bit of a minefield, but we're here to help demystify some of the real basic, simple steps you need to be aware of before you apply. And as I said, just have that correct grant mindset. So we hear about government grants, we hear about programs. What are they and where are they? The difference between a grant and a program is basically the amount of time that you've been in business. Grants tend to be that cash injection into a business that's proved success, about 3 years trading and beyond. Whereas the programs aren't so much a cash injection for your business, but it's more about introductions to key people of influence. It allows you opportunities to meet, discuss, talk, and grow with peers. And it helps you to tap into the wonderful resources that are available to you. And the programs are generally situated in that startup stage of a business. So grants tend to be that 3-year and beyond trading with cash injection, whereas your programs tend to be your startups, that entrepreneurship stage, and that is more around that introduction. So government grants, what are they? They're simply a method for government to enact their policies. So governments make a lot of promise before they're elected. They may choose not to continue after they're elected, but we won't go into politics today. It's all about stimulating economy and how government believes we can actually do that. So grants are broken down via business industry and business activity. So depending what industry you're in, there is grants allocated to that specific industry. But what activities are you conducting within your business as well? There's grants for the activities that you're doing. Currently, now this is quite staggering, there's $102.1 billion on the table nationally for Australian business and non-for-profit. So government stimulates business for profit, but also the non-for-profit community sector as well. So over $102 billion on the table, and that's broken down into about 5,300, 5,400 grants and programs. But the staggering statistic is only 35% of Australian business and non-for-profit actually access that money. So there's 65% of 100 billion sitting on the table, just asking to be given to you and to your clients. So how do we access this? It's through a really good grant mindset. So grants tend to fund special projects. They don't fund generally your day-to-day activities of your business. So grants shouldn't be considered a quick cash grab. They shouldn't be considered in the 11th hour, and they shouldn't be considered out of desperation. Grants are there to really help grow your business or non-for-profit here in Australia or overseas. But there needs to be thought behind it. It needs to be a special, specific project, not just to update a mobile phone or to give a new mobile phone plan to a new employee. It's not to get a new computer or printer. It really is about those special projects. So now just ask yourself how grant success, or if you were to receive $50,000, $100,000, $250,000 in grant form, how would that assist you flow on throughout community and ecosystems of other businesses? So for example, I call it the octopus effect. How helping you and your business is then going to have that flow on, that tentacle effect to helping other business and to helping community around you and to even helping and stimulating employment. So grants are not that quick cash grab and that greedy, this is for me, I need and want money for my business. That mindset should now shift to, I need and want money for my business so I can do X, which will then filter on out and assist other community and business. So are you grant ready? Is your business grant ready? Your mindset needs to be grant ready, but your business also needs to be internally ready. So there's many advantages to making sure your business is grant ready, because grants are very highly competitive and they have very short time frames of opening and closing. Some of them do, some are open all year round, but some have an opening and closing date. So you need to be prepared. So step one, consider your readiness for a grant application. So do you have a business plan and a strategic plan that's really clear and that really articulates your vision and your goal? Do you have a clear narrative around that? Not so much where your business is now, but where it plans to be in the future. How is that growth going to happen and how are you going to get there? Identify your project, I touched on it before, that really supports a business vision that has that flow-on effect. Then you need to consider, does your project meet all the eligibility criteria? Every single grant has a separate eligibility and assessment criteria. So how flexible are you in order to meet those requirements? So if you're not meeting them directly, are you flexible with your plan and your business that you could actually maneuver to become eligible? You need to understand the detail. As we said before, grants are very competitive. So are you competitive by nature? Do you have a good competitive spirit, or do you lie down at the first rejection? Because there is often a lot of rejection before there is success. But that rejection is where we can really fine-tune our applications and really get to the heart of our project and really be strong in our detail. So how are you going to stand out? There might be 1,000 of you all applying for one grant. How are you different? Where have you come from? How are we going to tell your story? What's the narrative that we're going to tell to make you really stand out? So prepare and plan for success. The planning process will ensure that your business really has as much supporting documentation that you need. The more, the better. And in addition to your strategic plans, larger grants may require a financial projection. So what's your relationship like with your accountant? Are you up to date with all your financials? Can you pull together a projection for a grant in a really short time frame? So where is all that sitting within your business? Step 5, really maximize your funding potential. You may have scoped out just one project and you have tunnel vision on that one project that you want your money for. But is there other opportunities? Is there some low-hanging fruit along the way that you can apply for until you get awarded that big project? So, for example, like a manufacturing plant, you may wish to establish a manufacturing plant in regional Victoria. That's a long-term committed project and that will need a lot of funding and support. But until you get there and in the interim, could there be some low-hanging additional grants where we can start looking at applications for equipment to actually put in that manufacturing space? So really consider your supporting activities as well as your bigger picture. And understand and prepare for financial contribution. When you're going for some bigger grants, you may need to co-contribute. So if you're wanting 500,000 to build this manufacturing plant, do you have 500,000 available? If not, how could you get it? Is there evidence to support that you are buoyant enough within your business to actually be able to obtain that co-contribution if accepted? So what's your relationship like with your commercial finance brokers? is there ways in which you can maneuver? Grants are a team effort. It's not just you solo. What can I get? You know, what do I need? It is about that team around you and how they can help support your grant application as well. So you really need to have those team members around you to help and assist. Excuse me. I just want to go back through, we talked earlier about grants being funded via business industry and or business activity. So I just wanted you to understand the difference there. Your business activity, you may be exporting, you may be working with infrastructure and equipment, you may be in that startup establishment phase. The activity you conduct within your business may be around employment or training. So I just want to rattle off a few quick little figures here. So under environment and sustainability, if you're working in that space, currently there's 359 grants valued at 32.8 billion. So that's just specifically within that environmental and sustainability activity. In the startup and establishment space, there's 217 grants valued at $3.3 billion. So that's purely specific and focused to startup and establishment. Around training and employment, there's 684 grants currently available, valued at 37.6 billion. So you can see the activity of your business is funded, but also the industry is funded. So for example, some of the industry funds at the moment, finance and business services, there's 18 grants available, $206 million. Media and entertainment, there's 283 grants currently valued at 2.2 billion. So once again, this is the business industry we're talking about. We can talk about aeronautics, agriculture, defence, education, energy and renewables. And then we look at the community sector. We have someone joining us today in that non-for-profit space. So under the community sector, you can break it down to arts, to environment, to sport, health. Under health, for example, disabilities, there's 74 grants in that disability space and worth 194 million. Mental health is very highly funded at the moment, coming off what we have just all been through. So under health, specifically mental health, there's 86 grants or opportunities available, 382 million. So I just wanted to let you understand that there is a breakdown of all that 100 billion we spoke of in the beginning. It's broken down into business industry, business activity, and sector. So be that for-profit business or that non-for-profit business. So we're going to finish off now with a real rapid-fire summary of what we've spoken of, because we've gone through a lot. I could talk about grants forever and a day. There's so much to cover. But hopefully, as I said, this will just flick the switch a little bit around your mindset that grants aren't cash grabs. It's not just about me, and funding your new Ferrari. It is about identifying a really solid, wonderful project within your business for future growth and how helping you is going to help others' business around you. So let's have a look at some rapid fire questions. Do you have a strong enough project? That is a really important base to start. What is your focus? What is your project? Some people say, oh, well, if you tell me what grants are available, I'll make something up to fit. No. It's not good to work that way. As long as you have flexibility, which we touched on, that's a good thing. But what is your strong, solid project? So you need to really identify that and have that off the bat, but keep it a little bit flexible. Are you clear about your message and your purpose? You need to really be able to articulate your message and the purpose and the outcomes and the benefits of you receiving a grant, how that is going to help others as well as helping you. What are the additional benefits that your success could offer community and employment? We talked about this before, but it is very much about not me, I, want. It is about, I want to do this to help others. Do you have a capable leadership in your organisation? Really important. What is your leadership situation within your business? Does your company and board of directors have good reputations? Very important and very good to look at that, consider that, and check up on that from time to time. Who are you dealing with? Who are you employing? Who are you referring to? Who's in your network of trusted advisors? What are their reputations like? Do you have efficient operating and support systems in place? Really, really important. If you were awarded $1 million tomorrow, how is that going to affect your business? Even a smaller amount, 50,000. Do you have the admin staff to assist you? Do you have people that can help with the acquittal? You know, how is that going to affect your bottom line? What are the results of being awarded money in terms of a financial cash flow position? So you really need to make sure that you've got effective support and operating systems in place. Do you regularly evaluate your business position? It's a really important thing to do. Quite often we have wonderful light bulb moments of flashes and we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and we do it, and then it's all falling apart. Or it just falls to the wayside. We get busy being busy. So really regularly evaluate, what is your business position? Where am I right now? Are your finances stable? It's not a prerequisite for grant success, but it really does show the effectiveness of where you are now in your business. And as I mentioned before, the pure process of just applying for a grant is a wonderful opportunity to give a new forensic lens over your business in a way that you haven't looked at it before. So pulling together all this documentation that's required, focusing on a clear vision for your future growth. All of this is not a waste of time, whether you're successful with the application or not. It's actually a bonus to be able to look at your business from a different forensic lens and through the grant mindset. Do you have a history of grant applications and grant success? If you do, then pull on that knowledge. It's not, once again, a prerequisite. You don't have to have had grant success to be successful. But as I said, to actually go through the motion of applying for a grant, win or lose, doesn't matter. The benefits and the opportunities for your business are huge. But if you have had success, where are those grant applications? How and why were you successful? Are you aware of any legal requirements and obligations of applying for a grant and or winning a grant? I touched on before, if you do all of a sudden receive a good pool of money, what are your legal requirements with that? How do you acquit the money you've just received? It is all very, very important. You're not going to receive a nice handout and then think that you can run off to the Maldives and celebrate birthdays. You have to actually be accountable for the money that you are given and how you spend it. And finally, do you have a really active business and marketing plan? We've all talked about them, we all have them, we do them once a year maybe, they sit in the top drawer, but how active are they? How active are your team members and across all of your business and marketing plans? Are your team members and your staff on the same page of you with your business projection and future growth? So while a business plan and a marketing plan is essential for business, we like to insert a grant plan that sits alongside those two documents, because from start to finish, a grant can take a year in preparation. So being prepared, being aware of when grants are opening and closing, and to give yourself the best advantage of success, put a grant plan in alongside your business plan and your marketing plan and make sure it is active. I am done, my friends. Thank you very much for joining us, and I guess we can open up now to questions if you'd like, Darren.